Howdy folks, here we are in the amazing Loopy Pro, and I set up this template so that you can press this magic wand and get to a mix page. And so the intention behind this is if you're in a live situation, live performance, or you're just vibing, making beats, using Loopy as a DAW, whatever your situation is, you can dial in your mix really easily with these widgets, and the way that I have it set up and the way that you might set it up could be different, but it gets the point across of doing it fast and an efficient workflow. So I'll give you some context. And this isn't necessarily a beginner's tutorial. I'm assuming people will have some knowledge of Loopy Pro. Though, if you're a beginner, this is a good way to maybe go on some deep dives. So here we are. First thing in my signal in the master chain over here is a compressor, the RRS 609, Red Rock Studios. I love their stuff. Most of their plugins are like $5, and this one, it's just helping the signal as it comes in to sculpt it a little. And then next plugin in my chain is the awesome Tone Boosters equalizer. Really like the Tone Boosters stuff. Poor man's Fab Filter or whatever, but great interfaces, a lot of features. And the CPU is pretty chill. This is a 9th gen iPad with the headphone jack. So then I have a third here, the Enhancer, another Tone Boosters plugin. It's like a multi-band exciter enhancer type plugin, so it's nice to have on the master chain. And then fourth here, star of the show, is the EQ3, another Red Rock Studios app. This one's awesome, it really is. Has the famous airband. I'm pretty sure this is modeled off of the Mag EQ. Pretty famous type of thing, like Plugin Alliance makes a version, and I have that one on my desktop, and this one to me sounds just as good. So for $5, I can really recommend these Red Rock Studios apps. And then going down the chain, I do have a stock EQ, just kind of more for monitoring my mix farther down in the chain. And then I have the Tone Boosters, Barricade, Limiter / compressor. Really nice visual feedback. No latency really to speak of that I can audibly tell. So this is a nice compressor. I think it's around $12 or something like that. I think the Tone Booster stuff is totally worth it. And then the last thing here is the Ulean light loudness meter, and that's just giving some understanding of how loud your mix is. This is the LUFS scale, which is what most people are using now. So say you're gonna bounce this out to Spotify, or you just want to know how loud it is going out to the house, or whatever your situation is. This is going to give you some good visual feedback. And it's free at the time of this recording. Speaking of free, if you don't want to buy anything or whatever, you don't know about some of these plugins, here's a free compressor. This Rough Rider 3 by No Damage. Most people have that or know about it, but that's a good one to put in your master chain. And something alternative to the EQ3, the Red Rock Studios, would be this blindfold EQ. And I think EQs like this are good for sculpting the mix because they force you to use your ears, and that's the whole point of this blindfold EQ. So I don't think it's as good as the EQ3, but for free at the time of this recording, this is really nice, and you can use it pretty much the same way that I'm using the EQ3. So there's some context. Now let me show you how I have this set up. So of course, the signal flow is, everything is going. This is my main page, and I'm making these loops, and obviously all the Loopy Pro, Loopy people are making these crazy templates, and So here's my first page. But then on the mixing page, this is where you can dial in and sculpt everything. So the way that I have this set up is with these, on the right here, there's all these buttons. And on the left, I have the EQ3 mapped. So if I hit this button here, it says EQ3, then the GUI pops up, the interface, and it's color coordinated. So I have this green sub over here, and then I have the 40 hertz, 160, 650, 22,500, and then the airband. The gain on the airband, and then the actual airband frequency, which I like 5 or 10, seems to be the sweet spot for me. So now if I go back to this button down here, this is the red button, and I click it again, you saw that it lit up there, and then the GUI goes away, the interface goes away. So it's real simple. I have these, mapped on the widgets here, and it's real easy to map things in Loopy Pro. I figure most of you know about this kind of stuff, but let me just give you an example here. This is bubbles. So most of these are set up with double taps. So this limiter down here is not. So let me show you guys real quick how I have this set up. So we're going to go over here to the pencil, and we're going to click on this bottom, this red one here. It says the limiter gain, right? Lim gain. So right now I just have it to adjust the barricade, the tone booster's barricade, limiter gain. So now if I wanted to see the interface, so I'm going to go over here to double tap. So we'll use the double tap for this. And then effects, actions, open effect interface. All right, so that's set. Now I need to just go to the target. And I just scroll over here. Oh, I see barricade right there. Boom. Okay. So now you can just click off of it and click the pencil again. And so now on this guy right here, if I double click on it, boom, the barricade is right there. Double click, it goes away. Double click, comes back. And if you move it, say you move it down over here, and then double click, it goes away, and it'll just be there. So it tries to stays in the screen. If you have a 12-inch iPad, it might be easier. But if you resize it or whatever, and then you wanted to put it down here, right, double click. So then it stays there. So this guy, Michael Tyson, he's just so forward thinking. He thought of every situation, and so the GUI of the plugin really stays where you put it for the most part, or it's where it makes the most sense. So now I can just double click this limiter gain again down here, and it's gone. So yeah, pretty easy to set this up. I'll just show you another one real quick. Like on this airband, so this is the white one here on the left, and adjust RRS EQ rock gain, they call it on here. So it's the airband, but so I just I put air gain, then so we'll just delete it real quick, right? Value change plus, right? Effects action, right there, the third one. Adjust effect parameter. So click on there. Click to the target. RS EQ3. Click on there. And rock gain, because we know that's the airband. Okay, and then you just click off of it. Hit the pencil again. Open the interface. And you can see it's affecting the airband. So it's really not that hard to set up these widgets. The way that he set it up, it's just very intuitive, and I don't usually find myself being too confused by the huge amount of possibilities that there is in Loopy Pro. So that's really cool, to be able to do it so smoothly. I'll show you a little bit more on this template, and then you can kind of get your own idea of how you might want to set it up. But yeah, like most of it is on the master chain, but over here on the right, this purple, it says Beatformer. If I click on that, it opens up Beatformer, and I made it purple because Beatformer is purple. But what this pertains to is my green channel, my green loop channel, right? On my main page there. Because that's usually going to be drums, beatbox, stuff that involves bass. So Beatformer is a good one to have. Because it's kind of, you know, has a lot of functions. You can add some bass, you can add some punch, you can squash it, compress it, add a little bit of air, change the input and output. So yeah, this is a cool plugin to have as part of the mix template, because bass is the thing that, you know, can ruin a mix. And if you, whatever your situation is, it's nice to be able to change what's going on with the bass. And as far as a lot of the other stuff can be done with the sculpting EQ, so I don't need to individually have every channel, you know, mapped to an EQ or whatever, because I know that with this EQ3 I can map things and kind of sculpt my mix enough. But if I have problems with the bass, then, you know, that's a little more specific. So that's why I have it set up like that for ease of use, and you just can't have everything mapped. And I leave this this window open down here, which is like this, like the kind of basic mixer window. You can see all my inputs there, and they're all can be muted with these buttons. And there's more redundancy there, like, so the rev hats, and then I can mute it down here, or I can mute it over here. So there's two places to mute it. I got my pitch Vox over here. Got my Q Vox. So, you know, I got a lot of crazy fun stuff. So that's how that pertains. And I'm gonna do another video. I might make it a Patreon or something like that, because it's gonna be a long one, and I'll set this whole template up from scratch and explain how I did it. But yeah, I just wanted to show the folks who kind of already know Loopy and, you know, maybe want to just get their mix a little more dialed in, and they can just add a page like this. You know, it takes a few hours, or however fast you are thinking about it. But yeah, it was fun to make, and I'm really getting good results, dialing in my mix when I'm making stuff. And then, you know, you can just record it right there, and you don't have to, you know, you don't necessarily need to do all this extra stuff after. So yeah, Loopy Pro, as we know, is awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should show you guys. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something, and have fun being creative, getting crazy, wild with your loops, and, you know, just vibing. All right, thanks, y'all. Peace.